Okay, well, hello everybody. Thank you for joining today's Batech webinar. We're excited to have you here as the Batech team shares how their patented technology is unlocking untapped high volume plastic waste, streams that simply cannot be processed by traditional recycling systems. So before we begin, I would like to introduce our panel of speakers. First, we have Boonler, the founder and CEO of Batech, who is going to share the vision behind the company and the innovation driving its technology. We're also joined by Mr. Wayne Martin, who is a shareholder and advisor to Batech. Next, we have Hunter, Batech's production manager. And then finally, we're joined by Connor, Batech's engineer, who will also be contributing to today's conversation and discussion. As a reminder, we will have a Q&A session at the end of the webinar today. So please feel free to submit your questions in the Q&A section throughout, and we will address them at the end. A quick note, just that we will not be able to answer any financial statements or forward-looking statements during today's session. With that, we're going to kick things off with Hunter. Hunter, the floor is yours.
All right, thank you, Sarah. Good afternoon and evening, everyone. Welcome to Batech's first webinar. My name is Hunter. I'm the production manager at Batech Corporation. A key distinction I want to point out from other recycling companies is that we are a wet plastics recycling company, having access to a waste stream very few people, if at all, have access to. An opportunity, not just for financial gain for investors, but environmental prosperity in North America and hopefully the globe. The global problem with wet plastic waste. We have two sources of wet plastic waste that can be found all over the world. Hydropulp waste and wet wipe waste. Hydropulp waste comes from paper food packaging. It's the plastic film that laminates paper products like paper cups, cartons, and to-go boxes. We also have wet wipe waste, which comes from baby wipes, hand wipes, facial wipes, and more. All this waste contains a form of wet plastic that's being sent to landfills and incinerators every month in the tons. We at Batech have found a solution to this very problem. Common problems in the plastics recycling industry. In our experience, a lot of recycling companies fail due to two main issues: fluctuating feedstock and operating costs. Recyclers are looking for waste streams that have low contamination, low moisture content, and are highly available. This is because it's easier for their equipment and systems to handle and process and recycle this waste. Because of this, they all run into the same problem: high competition, leading to reduced profitability and reduced environmental impact. Batech solves this issue by unlocking a high-volume plastic waste stream that everyone has known for years, but unable to find a solution to. We at Batech have been developing our technology for over 5 to 6 years to handle a waste stream that has high moisture levels, contamination levels up to 25% and more. This leads to zero-cost waste, a simplified recycling process which creates reduced costs, resulting in higher profit margins and higher environmental impact. How hydropulp waste is generated. Hydropulp is recycled from the food packaging waste and comes from residential, commercial, and industrial manufacturing. It's then sent to local recycling drop-offs or material recovery facilities and ends up in paper recycling mills where the plastic film laminate is separated from the paper. Paper recycling mills generate waste like hydropulp, paper sludge, and mixed plastic waste. All this waste is wet and also possible waste streams that Batech can handle. We are currently developing end products for paper sludge and mixed plastic waste. Paper sludge, once processed by Batech, can be used as clean fertilizer or converted into waste energy. Mixed plastic waste can be converted into railroad ties or chemical recycling. For hydropulp alone, 350 tons of waste is produced, and paper recycling plants pay $65 or more per ton to have this waste be sent to landfills. At Batech, we can get this waste for free, saving the environment and money for these recyclers at the same time. Hydropulp waste volume. Now, as of 2024 in the United States, we have 41 paper mill plants that accept and recycle paper food packaging. One paper mill generates 350 tons per month of just hydropulp waste, and the 41 mills combined generate 28.7 million pounds per month of hydropulp waste. We see here that this market is not just large today, but it's growing. In North America alone, we saw an increase in the paper packaging market from 2024 to 2025 of an estimated 3.6 billion US dollars. That's 3.6 billion US dollars in one single year. A growing market means a growing waste stream, and a growing waste stream only increases the importance of what we at Batech intend to accomplish. Another important waste stream is wet wipe waste. In the US, we estimated 15 to 20 locations for a total of 8 million pounds of generated waste per month. Now, we've heard it all before. Why should I, an individual, try to recycle when manufacturers are producing more waste in a month than I ever will in a decade? We see it in the charts, we see it in the numbers, and in this presentation. We at Batech have developed the technology to close that gap, targeting a waste stream from industrial manufacturing waste, scaling along with the market, and making a lasting and effective impact economically and environmentally. Next up is Connor, one of Batech's engineers, discussing about that very technology.
Hi, my name's Connor. I'm the engineer at Batech, and we're going to be discussing about our technology. Our technology supports a wide range of different types of plastic waste with moisture content of up to 95%. Our technology also operates with significantly less power compared to traditional recycling systems. Batech technology is an all-in-one system with a compact design, and our technology can even work with dry plastic waste. So what's the difference between traditional recycling systems and Batech's recycling system? Batech's extrusion technology can handle up to 95% moisture content, while traditional can only handle up to 5%. That's a large difference. Batech also has an integrated dewatering system, while traditional systems don't. And with Batech's drying technology, a combination of pressure, shearing action, internal friction heat, and external heat, we operate with 49% less than traditional systems. As you can see, we run at 370 kilowatts in comparison to traditional systems at 715 kilowatts. So, how does our system work? Batech technology is an all-in-one system: dewatering, degassing, compacting, densifying, which is the DDC system. It's an energy-efficient, has superior moisture removal technology, a compact footprint, and our technology is patented in Japan and patent pending in the United States and Europe. So this is our process: a full-scale recycling line that can recycle waste at 3,500 pounds per hour. So we start with the waste loading station, and then we go into the bale dewiring system, which breaks down those large plastic waste with the bale breaker and shredder system. The plastic then will be conveyed into our DDC system, the dewater, degas, compact, and densify this material into pelletized plastic for reuse. So what is our environmental opportunity? First, we recover previously unrecycled plastic waste, turning that waste into reusable plastic for manufacturers. This enables a circular economy for plastic waste. We also divert millions of pounds of plastic waste from landfills and incineration. On the right hand, you can see the graphic run through of the circular economy from consumer waste and post-industrial waste being recycled into reusable plastic that eventually become products such as these clothes hangers and fence pickets that Batech produced. Not only do we have environmental opportunities, we have machinery market opportunities. With a growing market of extruder machines, of $10.59 billion in 2025 and $11.2 billion in 2026, Batech can tackle this market with our technology that uses 49% less energy than traditional systems, competitive market prices, and equipment sale margins of up to 156%. With our combined experience of 73 years in equipment design, manufacturing, and sales, and a patent approved in Japan, pending in the United States and Europe. I will now pass it to Budnert.
Hi, I'm Bullard. I'm the president and CEO of Batech Corporation. Cost and profit analysis based on the recycled plastic resin sale with our zero cost of raw material and our Batech technology, we can reduce our manufacturing cost to 10 cents per pound. While our selling price at 21 cents, we can bring the profit at 11 cents per pound based on plastic resin sale. For the equipment sale, to fabricate one of the extrusion system based on 3,000 pounds per hour extrusion line, it costs us about $546,000 US. The target selling price at 1.4 million, that marketing price based on our competitor price, we can bring the profit margin at $778,000 US, that per unit. Our revenue stream come from two revenue, which is as I mentioned earlier, recycled plastic resin sale and equipment sale. We project 5 years to be at 20 million for the plastic recycle sale and 97 million for the equipment sale. Batech key advantage with low to no cost feedstock, proven extrusion technology, dual revenue stream. Our goal to be 100 million company in the next 5 to 6 years. Growth expansion by 2026 Q3, we plan to start the fabrication, the demonstration line for the trade show. 2026 Q4, we will finish out the upgrade our first recycling line with 3,000 pounds per hour. And by 2027 Q2, we will start to promote and sell our equipment, including starting the new second line of our recycle line. By 28 Q2, we hope to have 2 recycling lines, and by 2028 Q3, we hope to have a total 3 recycling lines. I'm now pass back to Connor.
So the environmental impact and scale that Batech wants to achieve by 2028 is to divert and recycle 100 million pounds of plastic waste, which prevents 90,000 metric tons of CO2 emissions, which is equivalent to planting 1.5 million trees annually. And we would like to thank you, and please invest today, support our goal to recycle, and change the future. Thank you so much for attending our webinar.
Thank you for that presentation, everybody. So I did want to quickly share, we have a couple questions. So that opens up our question and answer section. So if you do have a question that you would like answered live, please include it in the question and answers section on Zoom. The first question that we have is, what stands out? What makes Batech stand out from you and your competitors? Let me rephrase that. Yeah.
So for Batech, we have a very specific technology that can recycle wet plastic waste. Our competitors are recycling essentially, they have a very difficult time recycling wet plastic waste. So we are pretty much the only ones in this very niche category. We are, I don't want to say we're the first ones, but we are the first ones that can use this to scale. A lot of our, I wouldn't say competitors, but other recycling companies are, as I mentioned before, focused on waste streams that are easy to recycle. Because of our technology, we can recycle higher waste streams with higher moisture content and higher.
So I can fill in this area. Okay.
Yeah.
Basically, other company can recycle these wet plastic waste. Okay. But however, the energy consumption and equipment have to be step by step. For example, if you bring in 95% of moisture content of waste plastic, you're going to have to dry it first. After you dry it, then you're going to have to go through the densifying to compact lightweight plastic film and then feed into extrusion line. Okay, meaning you have to go through multiple steps to be successful recycling these waste plastic, waste. Compared to our technology that all in one integrating dewatering, densifying or compacting, and then degassing. We do everything in one stage, which is help to save energy, help to save the footprint for the equipment, help to save the equipment cost.
Thank you for that. So we have another question that popped up. It says, which industries or sectors are currently generating the waste streams that Batech is best positioned to process?
At our presentation show, the bed waste stream is to come from the paper recycling plant, which is our paper mills. Okay, which is we found as a very high volume plastic waste. Our extrusion plants are also good for typical plastic film waste. Can be from residential, can be from wash line, can be from industrial the waste. So, but to answer the question, is the best bet we work for the plastic waste from paper mill or paper cup waste.
And then there's one more question about the sustainability and impact. So how does Batech's process compare environmentally to traditional recycling or landfill disposal? I know you mentioned that, so if you could dive into that a bit more.
It's difficult to answer because we are handling on different stream. What compared to the traditional, they tend to recycle more easy their plastic waste, So, but we are recycle plastic waste from untouched plastic waste. So it's hard to compare how we protect or how we gain environmental impact on that.
Okay, great. We have another question. Do you dry, melt, and atomize?
I'm sorry, Akanda, can you answer
the question?
Dry, melt, or atomize?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So for our process, we in our one-step system or integrated system here, we not necessarily dry, but we can take in the moisture, the material that's already wet. So if you have waste material that is already 95% wet, you drop it straight into our recycling system. There's no drying process needed because of the way that we process the material through the compacting, melting, and degassing system. That's done all in our machine. And once that is processed, it comes out into a dry melted form that can then be pelletized and turn into those plastic pellet beads that we can then sell and ship off to manufacturers, chemical recyclers, anyone who essentially wants it.
Yeah, basically what our system does is all in one system integrated. So we don't dry material at all. We just feed in with plastic or with waste form, any type of form, as long as it's small enough for the screw to convey, we will be able to process.
So another question I think is a great one to include right after this. As of now, what equipment do you have already built and functioning that proves the ability to process contaminated plastic waste? So what equipment do you have already built and functioning that proves the ability to process contaminated plastic waste?
Yes, the machine already be built. It has been run over 5 years. We have proven, we have solved all the problem that we have had. So a lot of improvement in over 5 years of technology. So to answer the question, yes, it has been built, tested, and patented in Japan.
Yeah, we already also have customers that are essentially calling us every day to process the material.
So one more question. Can you describe the business model again?
Hunter, you can take that question.
So for our business model, it's not just for us to make an effort environmentally or economically, it's a combination of both. Through our dual revenue stream here, we are recycling the resins what we can because of our technology and our expertise and our skill. And through time, we're going to be developing the equipment sales to expand globally and have other companies in other countries who have this same issue, because this waste plastic is a global issue. If we can expand in the United States and eventually globally with our technology, whether through selling the technology itself or through licensing, our plan is to develop the environmental impact and scale our business as well.
Okay, great. Thank you for that answer. We have another question. How do you avoid contaminants?
We don't necessarily avoid contaminants. We take whatever the paper mills send to us or the wet wipe manufacturers send to us, and our line specifically is designed to handle those contaminants. From our metal separator or metal filtration system, we are able to take out the metals and the contaminants out after the waste material has been successfully processed.
Yeah, we are separate into two states. We are separate of those metal before we melt it down. For the contaminant in the plastic itself, like paper contaminant or other contaminant, we filter those during the melting state. We have the mill filtration system after extruder, which it helps to reduce all those contaminants down. It's not going to be 100% filtered, but it's good enough to use for various application in industry, plastic industry. Yeah.
And further along the lines, once we, for example, after we separate those contaminants, whether it be metal or other different types of plastic, or paper, we can use that to be recycled again. We recycle the metal, or we have that. We are currently in the process of developing more into that area as well.
Yeah, a lot of what we learned also, a lot of plastic waste from paper mills, because the waste come out from paper mills always wet, super wet, okay? So it's very difficult for them to sell those waste to somebody else, even to waste energy, like cement plant, power plant, because it's wet, it won't burn well. So with our plastic, we actually can reduce or eliminate those moisture. Then we can sell those waste into energy waste stream, like power plant, cement plant, you name it,
Great. We have one more question. So what is the price of the technology leasing or buying outright?
Okay, go back to, that slide. And no, equipment. Right there, okay. Right. Our cost to build one is going to run about 550,000 to 600,000 US dollar. Okay, that's to build one with the rate at 3.5, 3,500 pounds per hour. That's our cost. But general, the market price based on our competitor, they're selling the same rate for about 1.4 million up to 2 million, depending on auction. So to be honest, we can actually sell much lower than 1.4 million. Okay, it depends on how we estimate our sale to the market.
Okay. We have another question. So why equity crowdfunding and not grow through the traditional VC route?
I'm not quite understand the question on this question.
So why did you choose equity crowdfunding instead of going through a venture capitalist for investments?
We have been searching for few options for us, but we don't know a lot in terms of people, the way to raise fund, But we found out, okay, the we funder maybe the way for us to spread our information to the public. So that's the reason. There's only channel that we know at this moment. I wish I know more how to raise the capital to different channel, but this is the channel that we know for at this moment.
So I have one last question. This is our last but not least question. If you do have any final questions, please feel free to add them now. So this question says, what type of experience does the leadership team bring?
Well, Wayne, you want to fill up in a little bit in your experience? Wayne is our senior engineer. He actually used to be my former boss. I worked for Wayne for 24 years with the same company. But Wayne worked with the same company for over 43 years. But I let Wayne speak out.
Yeah, basically our background has been in manufacturing machines that go into the plastics industry. And that involves people that are actually making the plastics, as well as people that later on have a desire to recycle or to reclaim the plastics. And so we've seen a lot of different applications of how plastics are being used and the many different types of plastics that are in the industry. And in regard to the founders of Batech, the experience has been building up or expanding our company overseas, especially. And we've worked closely together, as Boonler mentioned, for over 20 years and did a very good job building the basically from the ground up our company in Southeast Asia, for example.
Okay, great. And it looks like that is it for our questions. So with that being said, Boonler, did you want to leave us with any final words?
I don't have any at this moment, but thank you for everyone to participate this conference, and hopefully we can work together and help our growth and supporting our growth and green future.
All right, well, that concludes the Batech webinar. Please keep an eye out for the webinar replay in your inbox. And for more information on the WeFunder raise, please visit wefunder.com/batech.corporation. Thank you everyone for your participation and your time today, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.